Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mental Health Talk coming live from my apartment. Welcome. I hope that y'all had the best week that y'all could have. I hope that some things are going in your favor. I hope that you learn how to get in tune with who you are, in touch with yourself. I speak a lot about the chakras, right? Chakras are energies in our body that if we are not balancing them, they can cause real life physical symptoms. So if you ever wonder what a chakra is or how to apply it to your life, you can message me. We can have a conversation about it. I also have some items for sale that can help you on your spiritual journey towards self-discovery. So if you're interested, please message me as well. Also, life is all about self-discovery. Life is about a journey, and I want each one of us to know who we are. I want each one of us to discover who we truly are at the core. A lot of us don't know who we are yet because we don't take the time out to tune in with ourselves. And I always urge people to do meditation and self-reflection. This will get you more in touch with who you really are. It takes time to meditate, to get in a quiet space. But from my experience, it opens and unlocks a deeper part of ourselves. It unlocks a deeper part of our consciousness. That way we know our likes, dislikes. We know our purpose and where we need to go. A lot of times with the hurry and busy of life, we don't really ever find out who we really are because we're so just focused on the outside. So I urge people, hi Tyrone, I urge people to just take time out each and every day to just sit with yourself and ask yourself questions. Am I doing what I need to move forward in my life? Am I doing things in my life that is pleasing to me? A lot of times we do things to please other people, but we neglect ourselves. And that is the most important person we need to take care of. If we are not together, we can't be together for someone else. So if you're looking for a different way to figure out, message me. We can talk about the holistic approach to mental health. I know that a lot of people struggle with mental health issues. I am one of them. 1 in 5 people suffer from mental health disorders each year. Not that it's a detriment. It is livable. We can get past it. It's just that we have to find a way that works for us, right? We have therapy, we have religion, we have medication. I offer the holistic approach. There's different ways to combat it. And if you're ever feeling like that you want to give up and you're at your ropes end, let suicide not be an option. Trust me, I understand suicide. I understand why people commit it. We're just trying to prevent as many people as possible. That number is 1-800-273-8255, or you can visit them on suicidepreventionlifeline.org. We need you here. You're supposed to be here. You have purpose. And so I want you to figure out what that is. And again, it's a journey, and we're constantly learning about ourselves. And so it's not a race, and it takes time to heal wounds. A lot of us don't know that we're suffering because we buried the pain so deep within. And this is why I talk about chakras and stuff. All that pain that you hold inside, it causes chaos internally, and you wondering why these mental disorders come about. We wonder why we having back pain and leg pain, chest pain, anxiety, headaches, migraines. It comes from something that's not dealt with in. So that's why I created my company. That's why I urge people to just take a trip, right? Take a trip down your memories and your insights and be in touch with who you are so you can figure out what's going on, so we can get you to the point where you can learn to live and not just exist. A lot of us are just existing in this world because we don't know who we are. The more you get to know yourself, the more you can set those boundaries, the more you can create a reality in which you thrive to live in. So that's all I have for right now. But I wanted to get on the topic for today. So the topic for today is, how can volunteering help with mental health? So we all know what it means to volunteer is to donate of ourselves, whether it be our time, our space, monetary, our energy, conversation. You can donate your goods, or like goods such as clothing and food. There are many ways to volunteer, and it's important, I think, that everyone should at least volunteer at some point in their life. It feels good to me to give back in ways that people need, right? I always say, it's a quote, not me. It's a quote that was around that said that, do things for people that can never repay you back. It feels good when you do something for someone and the gratitude they have for someone helping out. A lot of times, those that need volunteer services, they feel isolated, they feel alone, they feel judged. And it's important to know that they are okay how they are, and it's okay to need help. We all need help in some way or another. So if you think about it, we have been volunteered to as well. I know that I have utilized food pantries in the past because I needed them, right? People there, they volunteer their time to pass out the goods. People volunteer their time to help bag. It's a lot of ways that people give back and that we ourselves have benefited from. People who have volunteered their time, let's say, to help you move, to help you unpack, to take you somewhere. There's so many different ways to volunteer yourself. So just think about that for a moment. Maybe taking some time out each and every week to volunteer can actually help. I know that when I'm doing something, it takes away from me worrying about the issues that I have. Not that I don't have to deal with it. You still have to deal with those issues, but they don't seem as severe. My aunt always told me an idle mind is a devil's playground, and it is. When you sit in silence, which is good sometimes, but sometimes we can create issues that's not really there because of our program negative thinking. So volunteering can actually enhance your quality of life and someone else's as well. Volunteering can provide a sense of purpose, right? When you volunteer, you're giving your time to someone, right? And you feel like you're doing good. And so when you do that, it feels great on the inside. You're touching someone else's life. They appreciate it, and you feel a sense of reward from doing so. It gives you that sense of purpose, like, hey, I'm doing something. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this, right? And it provides satisfaction to the person you're volunteering for. Volunteering can bring fulfillment to your life. It does. If you ever volunteered and you see the reactions of people that you helped, it feels good on the inside. I can't describe it, but it's an overwhelming joy to be able to provide these people with a service they can't do for themselves. We all been out on our luck at some point in our life, and we all have been given to, maybe most of us. And so it's always important to receive the help that when we need it, and to be able to give back. I believe that everyone should volunteer at some point in their life, just to show the universe and God the gratitude of placing people in our lives at the moments that we need it the most. There is no shame of accepting service from volunteers. They're there to help, right? And so we all need help at some point in our life. And so it's important to give back. And filling that hole, I think sometimes we some people need to be around people, so it's important when you do volunteer to do it with good intentions to do it, with not expecting to receive something back. Sometimes when you volunteer, people may not be appreciative of what you're doing, and that's okay. You know that you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You know that you're doing it because you feel compelled that this is where you need to be, right? And always keep going forward. You're going to have good days and bad days with volunteering, but keep pressing forward because you never know who you can touch by doing a simple act of service. Volunteering can make you happy, right? It can. You're doing something for someone else. They're excited. They're getting what they need. You may meet someone that you connect with. You can build friendships with people. You can touch people's lives just by simple conversation. A lot of people that do need these volunteer services, they're missing something out of their life. And so it's important that we are open and receptive of what they have to offer as well. People's energy connects. And so you may meet that person that connects with you, and you feel that happiness and that joy. I know when I volunteered a couple times, 3 times last year, I've been trying to do as much as I can. I feel gratitude to be able to be in a position to be able to provide this for people and to see their reaction. The last thing that I did was a pre-Thanksgiving meal for the homeless last November, and the sense of gratitude they have for having a meal provided for them, it touched me in a way like, yeah, I know, because I know how it feels to be without. I know how it feels to be in a position where you're trying, you can't do anything, but being able to have someone give to you out the kindness of their heart and they don't expect anything in return, that is a great reward, right? To give and don't expect anything in return. Some people are doing things just for the fame. They do things to brush their ego. But I always say when you don't do things with good intentions, it will come back to you. So when you do volunteer, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you're not doing it to stroke your ego or to get fame or to elevate. Do it out the kindness of your heart. Do it as if that's someone that you know that needs service, that your family members, your loved ones, that you provide for them. Treat people how you want to be treated. Volunteering can increase your self-confidence. Now, self-confidence is what it says. It's about self. This one is a little catchy because doing something for someone just to boost your own ego, but I get it in a sense. Again, to me, volunteering should enhance the quality of life. You should feel good about being able to provide some type of service to others, but it's also a thin line between feeling good and being able to do that, and then doing it out of spite, doing it just because, again, to gain the fame and the namesake and, oh, I did this and I do that. When you say that and you think those thoughts like, oh, I feel so great to do this. Oh, let me, what is the word? I can't think of the word. Well, let me blast this. Let me say, oh, this is what I did. Look what I did. Look at me. Look at me. You're taken away from the whole experience when you do that. When you're volunteering, you gotta put your all into it. You have to put yourself into that. Put yourself in those people's shoes and think about what you would want that person that's giving to you to provide for you. I've seen some volunteers that act like they don't want to do it. Maybe they're just doing it for an internship or getting good points. You should never do it in that. Now, if you do it in that spite, okay, but you should only volunteer if you're willing to just let yourself go and put yourself on the forefront, right? Put yourself out there and expect whatever there is to come. Volunteering may reduce stress levels. We're all stressed, right? Life is stressful. There are so many things that causes stress. But again, I say this from experience, when you do for others, it kind of takes away you thinking about all the issues that you have. You're focused on, oh, I'm going to provide the service for these people. I'm going to make these people happy. I'm going to give of myself. When you do that, your problems don't see less. I say sometimes the more busier you are, the less you worry about those things you can't control. A lot of us are stressed because we're worrying about the same constant things, financial and our living situation, our job, children, people in our lives. We get stressed on a daily basis. So being able to provide a service for someone else kind of eliminates that. You're not worrying about all these things because you're focused on this task at hand. Volunteering can help combat depression and anxiety. This goes hand in hand with stress. A lot of us are depressed, or some of us are depressed and have anxiety. I know that I do. But again, when you do things for other people, it kind of takes away from you worrying about yourself. You don't feel sad. When I get really down and depressed, I start doing things like I started baking and cooking a lot to take my mind off of what I was going through at the moment, because the only thing we can control is what we can control, right? And if we can't worry about it. And I always say this, but again, at the end of the day, every day is not the same. So sometimes it does get to me. And so when I'm doing for others, when I'm in constant movement, I don't worry about it. So volunteering can do that as well. When you're busy, let's say making and organizing and providing and in conversation and in movement, all those things that you were worrying about comes in the back of your mind. So maybe it's important, if you're one of those people that is depressed and having like anxiety, to maybe volunteer more. There are so many places that need volunteers and that need your service. So you have to find something that works for you. And this is coming to my next point. Find a cause that speaks to you. So there are so many options to volunteer, and you can basically volunteer for anything, and you can fill your life up. If you, I'm thinking about doing this because due to financial situations, I've been stuck at home, and I find that I've been more sad lately, and I'm like, maybe I need to get out and do more with what I can. Yeah, I don't have financial means, but I can volunteer my time. I can volunteer my conversation. I can volunteer my energy and help someone else. So you got to find something that speaks to you. They have the elderly, they have children, they have the homeless people, they have men, they have women, they have the disabled. Schools need volunteers, libraries need volunteers, the senior centers need volunteers, the homeless centers need volunteers, they need volunteers at the zoo. There are so many places, food pantries, volunteers to clean up neighborhoods. There's so much that you can do with volunteering if you just plug it in where you live at. Sometimes they have volunteers that come to your neighborhood, your city, maybe once a month. You can always plug in. There's always something you can do. If you attend church, maybe one volunteer is that you clean up after service. Like, it's infinite of what you can do to provide service to someone else, right? Volunteering, offering yourself. That's what volunteering is, offering yourself up for a service. So if you're interested, just Google volunteer services near me. Sometimes they have, like, when they do like the testing for different things, they need volunteers for that. So there is a whole lot of options for you in order for you to volunteer. For me, what speaks to me is helping the elderly. I feel close and connected with elderly people. I always have been like that. So for me, I will look into something, join the tent of life. I will be in conversation with you. I feel connected with the elderly. It's just always been something since I was like 10, 11 years old. just feel so it would be beneficial for me to help them. Like, I connect with older people more than people my age. I don't know why. I mean, I was raised by an older woman, so that's part of it. I like the homeless people. That's a population that I will choose to volunteer in, because I lived in a homeless shelter before, so I know what it feels like to be at that point. So those are the two populations that speak to me. So you have to do something that speaks to you. Don't just do something for the sake of doing it. Do it with intention and purpose. And I guarantee you'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about the situation. You'll feel better because you were able to provide a piece of yourself to help basically enhance the mankind. We can't help everybody. One person can't do it all. But if each one of us decided to help in an area that is needed, people will not lack. Yes, you can't always give financially. People aren't in a position to do that. That's why they have big corporations that donate food and donate clothing and donate things. But what you can do is provide your conversation, again, your presence, your energy, your tasks, right? That's what you can provide. Your time is so precious. And if you could give someone a piece of your time in your life, that can enhance the quality of their life. A lot of people that sometimes they want to volunteer just to provide that time, especially like in elderly centers. Maybe their family just left them and they only see the workers that are there. So being able to have someone that cares about them, or they feel like they care about them, can enhance their quality of life. People feel better when they feel like people care about them. People's quality of life goes up when they feel like people care about them. They feel better about themselves, so they get more motivated to maybe do some changes that will change the quality of their life. So you are beneficial to someone else. You just have to open up yourself. You have to see inside yourself, like what areas or what places would need someone like me. So many different things. Everybody is unique. Everybody has different qualities and characteristics. Everybody is good at something, right? So whatever you're good at and great at, that gift that God gave you, that purpose, then volunteer for that. I guarantee you, like, when you do things with good intention and good thought process and out the kindness of your heart and your soul, it always comes back. Maybe not in the same way, but you'll get what you exactly need. But you have to do everything with good intentions and a good heart and a good mindset. Volunteering can help you discover who you are. It can. When you volunteer, you can figure out, hey, like, I like doing this. Maybe I will make this a career or job. Or this does something for me. Maybe having that conversation with someone will unlock something inside of you. Like, hey, maybe I can do this and change my life in this way. You never know what benefits you can get out of volunteering if you do not do it. Yeah, I know that some people, it's time constraints. You're busy, you have a family, you working and stuff. But I think that we can squeeze at least an hour every month in order to provide some type of service for someone, right? Like, I know that I've been slacking. I've been having these thoughts in the back of my head for like a couple of months, just getting motivated to go. But when you feel a calling and feel like something is edging at you and telling you like, hey, you need to do this, I think we need to follow that voice. All the answers that we need are within, right? And God speaks to us, the universe speaks to us in many different ways. And if something keeps popping up and you seeing signs, like, I believe signs are there, you need to follow through with it. Like, yeah, I'm a shy person. I don't like to be around a lot of people. Not all the time. But for me, volunteering, it's kind of different. It does a service to someone. So I'm not thinking of it like, oh, I have to talk to a lot of people. Yeah, you have to be able to be cordial with people, but putting yourself out there, like, you can combat a lot of things. Like, let's say you're fearful of being in a crowd. Well, when you volunteer, you have to be around amongst people, so it can actually be beneficial to you as well to be able to combat fears. Volunteering is not only beneficial to the receiver, but the giver as well. Volunteering can also help advance your career. So it can, like, if you're looking to volunteer in order to enhance your career, that can do it as well. I talked about, internships and jobs may require a certain amount of hours. It can do that as well if you're going to go that route. So but always look for something that you feel like is going to be beneficial to you and the person as well. Don't just do something, even if it is enhancing your career. Don't just do something just to put something on the paper. When you provide yourself with someone and your service to someone, the energy travels. So if you have this negative energy going about it, whether it's to advance your career or not, the people are going to feel that, and nothing good can come out of that. I believe when we don't do things with good intentions, it's going to backfire. They even said when you cook, right? When you cook and you're angry and upset and sad, the food doesn't taste as well as it could when you do it with love. And I can attest to this. I know, like, when I put love into everything that I do, it comes out better, right? So do that. Even if you're volunteering for a job, do it with good intentions. So the steps that you can take is figure out how much time you can commit. Don't do more than what you can. If you only can commit 30 minutes a week or an hour a month, do something that fits into your time frame, right? I know we're busy. I know we got things to do. And so it's important not to put too much on your plate that you can't handle. Don't overwhelm yourself, right? Feeling like you have to, I got to commit 3 hours at least a week, knowing that your schedule doesn't fit that. Do something that is realistic, right? For me, I think I can do an hour a week, so I can give an hour a week of my time to dedicate to something. So you do what you can for yourself, and only you know that. You got to look at your schedule and look what you can do. But like, hey, I got some time here that most of the time I'm just sitting around watching TV doing nothing, and I can be doing this, right? Granted, take time to relax. We all need to relax, but if you have time to fit in your schedule to give someone 30 minutes of your life in your space, I guarantee you'll feel so much better about it. So again, think about the places that you can offer your volunteer services to. Think about how much time you can commit as well, and be honest with yourself. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to do this. I think a lot of us want to do things, right, because it feels good, but you have to be realistic with yourself, for one. And when you suffer from mental health issues, every day is not the same. So for me, I have to be realistic in the moment. Like, how much time can I commit to someone else, right? That doesn't take away from myself. Again, I said an hour a week. An hour is not that much time, but it can be beneficial to the person and to me as well. So if you can commit 30 minutes and that's all you have every week, that's fine. If you got an hour a month, that is fine. Be honest with yourself. Be realistic with yourself. Don't put too much on your plate, because what happens if you do too much, it's going to spill over. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get stressed out because you already obligated yourself to these hours that you cannot commit to. Now you're feeling like you let someone else down. Now you can't commit to it. Then everything is falling apart. All of that energy, the negative energy, is going to get stored up, and then it may come out in the wrong way to someone. You may lash out. You may not answer phone calls. You may stop volunteering altogether because you chose to put too much on your plate. So don't do that to yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself with things that you know you cannot commit to. What are your goals and interests of volunteering? You got to ask yourself that question. It's like, why am I doing this? It's important that you know what you're getting in yourself to. Let's say you want to help children. Why do I want to help children? because I want to be like a big brother or big sister to them. For people that don't have, a mother, father figure, or big brother, or their parent is missing, right? That's a good goal. Now, what do you want to see come out of this? You want to enhance the quality of their life. You want to make sure that they know that they can do it. They have someone positive to look up to. There are a lot of things, reasons why we volunteer in the areas that we do. Don't limit yourself as well. If it's something that you want to try, do it. You may try it and then say, hey, it's not for me. Let's say you volunteer at a food pantry and you want to organize the food, and you try it and you don't like it. Well, you don't have to continuously do it. We don't know what we'll like unless we try it. And so maybe you'll try a couple volunteer things and say, hey, maybe it's not worth for me. They have so many options. They have like the PAL program. They have, Big Brother, Big Sister program. They have a lot of different things that you can choose to do that can help people. Where to volunteer: community, libraries, senior centers, youth programs, national parks, places of worship, shelters, animal and homeless. And before you volunteer, know what's expected. It's like a job description, right? Volunteers is not, most of the time, I believe, is not paid. So know that you're going into this. Don't expect to get paid. Now, I know sometimes they'll do like a donation to you, or you can have a free plate of food or something, or you can get a box, something, but don't know what's expected beforehand. Because I think when you know what's expected, cards are on the table, so you don't get burnt, or you don't get hurt in the long run, or you don't go in there thinking it's going to go this way and it doesn't. Most volunteer services will be like, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this. So you go in there, let's say they need you to clean up. So you dress in your boots and you wear your clothing and you go in there and you clean up. You know what's expected. If you don't know what's expected and you go in there, you might get disappointed. So make sure you know ahead of time, like with phone conversations, emails, even texts, that you know what's expected before you do that. Volunteers can help in so many ways. When we help, it takes our minds off of what's keeping us alienated, and we stop focused on the issues we cannot control. We feel better knowing we are making a difference in someone else's life. The more you give, the more you receive, and that is beneficial. And I always speak about this, right? I speak about karma and a good, positive energy, negative energy. We all have it, right? We're all not perfect. Sometimes we can be the negative energy as well. So it's important to know yourself, right? Know where you're at. Know your headspace. But also things that you can do to enhance the quality of your life. Mental health disorders don't just go away, right? I think we do things to help combat it. So I offer you this. Well, I don't offer you, it's available. So something to think about. If you're suffering, maybe it's time to start volunteering and to give of yourself, right? I always feel better when I'm doing something and I give of myself and I'm doing things for someone, because it takes my focus off of those negative thoughts in our minds. Again, we can't control everything, but what we can control, we can control. And so maybe it's time for you to start volunteering. Again, search your area, know your limits, right? Don't put too much, don't commit yourself too much beforehand, knowing that you're not going to be able to follow through. Be honest with yourself, be realistic, know what you're getting yourself into. And especially when you commit yourself and time to something, you're saying, okay, I'm going to help. And when you do too much too fast, then you're not able to follow through. You hurt the people that you cannot help. That's why I said be realistic. If you know you only can give like 30 minutes a week, or 30 minutes to an hour a month, and that's all you can do, that's fine. But don't do too much too fast, and then you get burnt out, and now you can't provide the service which you already committed yourself to. It's important to know yourself and know your boundaries and know your limits. And this is a way to help us combat dealing with mental health disorders. It's a tricky illness to have because, yeah, some days are great, some days are not so great, and we never know where we're going to be at. The only thing that we can do is just to keep fighting each and every day for survival. I'm trying to create, I want people to create a space for themselves, knowing that, yes, they deserve to be here no matter what they're dealing with. They have a right to be here. They are valued and they are worth it, and they have purpose. And volunteering may be one of your purposes. And if it's something that you've been thinking about, go ahead and try it. But just remember that when you do choose to do it, you find something to volunteer, go in it with good intentions. Know what to expect. And when you commit yourself, you got to follow through. Don't commit yourself if you knowing you can't do it, because you're going to hurt someone. And we don't want to hurt people, because when we hurt people, we take away from them. We want to enhance somebody's quality of life, and we don't want to diminish it, right? So think about that for a minute before you commit yourself to something that you know you can't do. But if you can, that is great and that is wonderful. And I think that we all should have some time to do that as well. It's not only beneficial to them, but to us as well. When we do for others, it gives us a sense of peace and fulfillment and sense of love. I believe in providing positive energy to people, right? People can feel your energy. So whatever you do, always do it with good intentions. And that's pretty much all I have for you today. I thank everyone for tuning in. If you're ever interested in learning about the holistic approach to mental health, dealing with the chakra system, chakras are energy, please message me as well. I have items for sale to help you on your journey as well towards self-discovery. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Become Your C, TikTok, Become Your C, Facebook, BYC, Become Your C. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, BYC, Become Your C. I have all podcasts on there as well. My website is down right now, so I'm trying to do the best that I can to get it up, but due to some things, it's just going to be like that for a little bit, but I'm trying my best to do that. So remember, today, do some self-reflection, do some meditation, ask yourself questions, and let's put you on a path in which you are supposed to be going, right? You create your own reality, and this is by digging deep within self and to realize that, hey, I belong here, I got purpose, and I'm going to do whatever I can to live my life the best that I can. And volunteering can help you on your way to do that. Again, if you're ever suffering to the point where you feel like you want to give up, don't. Call the hotline, 1-800-273-8255, suicidepreventionlifeline.org. I hope y'all have a great day. Do something today that will enhance the quality of your life. Take care.